Welcome, dear friend. In this video we are going to discuss about what's the difference between Solidity on for Ethereum and Solidity for Solana, powered by Solang. So we'll look at some of the basic difference. Let's just look about some of those few differences, and don't forget this is a continuation series in our ultimate guide from moving from Ethereum Solidity developer to extending into Solana, developing with Solidity on Solana. So if you have missed other things and you are just starting, you don't need to get confused. Go watch from the beginning and get through to the course. So make sure you watch to the end of the video. And in case you are new here, I'm Solang Solidity, founder of dProgrammingUniversity, where we create free Web3 development courses and also deep dive, in-depth, technical, simplified content to help you grasp better Web3 development. So if that interests you, this is a platform to follow. Make sure you subscribe, tap notification bell, join our Discord, and you have question, ask in the comment or write in the Discord. Meanwhile, before we move on, a disclaimer and disclosure. The disclaimer is that for our content, for us to continue to be able to create this content free, we may invest, trade, or hold any token or crypto or whatever relating to Web3 projects that we create content for, and at the same time we may be given grants, take their token compensation or bounty or some other things, airdrop and things like that. But we try our best to make sure the content is helpful and as unbiased as possibly as we can. Now, to the disclaimer, please, all our content at dProgrammingUniversity are for educational purpose only, not for development advice, not investment or trading advice, not advice for you to invest in any project we discuss about. So by continuing to take or use this content or any of our content, that means you agree that we will not be liable for any losses you incur, and you will take responsibility for your actions. If you agree with that, then let's continue in the video. Now, in the video we are majorly discussing about differences, trying to look at what's the differences from the Solana Solidity on Ethereum and then when it's on Solana. You can look for the ultimate guide where all these details are for you to help you transition from Ethereum to Solana as Solidity developer. Just look for Solidity for Solana development, DPU, and then you have access to the ultimate guide to Solidity for Solana development. So it take you from beginner into Solana development as a Solidity developer. Everything is well detailed and organized there. So now we are majorly talking about the differences, and if you have been following, you will understand that Solang is actually the compiler that makes it possible. Actually, I think it was written in Rust itself, that makes it possible to compile Solana down to BF, SBF bytecode that work and make it work as like a native Solana program. So because of that, because Solana, our account model, which we have also discussed, you watch the video, I won't be going into it again, has a lot of differences with Ethereum. So also you cannot just take the Solidity 100% and port it to Solana and expect it to work. So there are some differences that was done. So let's look at the 3.3 here, Solang Solidity for Solana versus Solidity for Ethereum. What are the difference there? You see that one of the major causes of why Solidity purely as known on Solana isn't possible to just port 100% to Solana comes down to one main thing. The main difference between Ethereum blockchain and Solana blockchain is the blockchain architecture. I've explained, which boils down to account model. How do they handle data? You understand, and a lot of things like that, including a parent, then parent here, and a lot more. like that. So these are the things that makes the difference. Now let's see some little incompatibility with them. As of the present time that Solang was launched fully on Solana, these are some of the basic one you want to know. That Ethereum, for example, deal with 40 character wallet, usually start with a fixed prefix of O and X. But Solana doesn't have a fixed prefix, 1, and 2, it can be longer than 40. So if you are dealing with native Solidity, which is for Ethereum, you will deal with wallets, so which already understood that okay, this thing is 40 long plus 2 0 and 1 x 2 character 0 and 1 x. But when you are dealing with Solana, it doesn't understand that, so it's not working with it. So it on Ethereum recognizes wallet the 40 character, like I said, but not on Solang Solidity. Then Solidity for Ethereum has a function for gas, but it's not available in Solidity for Solana, because on Solana, on the gas, for example, maybe two smart contracts want to interact, one may have and then pay for some process and things like that. But on Solana, because every smart contract you want to interact with and all those things hold a kind of data, somebody pay for those data, even from the point of deployment and a lot of things like that. So you need to know that these things are different. That's why I encourage you to watch my video on the Solana account model compared to Ethereum account model. So Solidity on Ethereum has message sender, which is sender's wallet. That's the person interacting with that wallet, the person's wallet interacting with the smart contract. So that's the sender, is the person sending the transaction, interacting with that smart contract. So but if you are on Solana, it doesn't work like that. So that's why on Solidity, if you are used to using message sender, you want to port existing smart contract from Ethereum to Solana, you know that wherever you see something like message.sender, they had to be rewritten, or else it won't function on Ethereum or Solana, could even cause a bug for you. So other things like revert and error message, when you are dealing with Solidity on Ethereum, you want to do some check and then try to revert and log out some error, that okay, if this person is sending money, you have to check the balance, avert, check and things like that. Then if the balance after sending is still the same or greater, then it means something is fishy. So revert the transaction and then output a log message why the transaction failed. But all these are like part of core of Solana architecture itself. So how you access things like this is totally different on Solana. So all these things are what you need to keep in mind when you are there. There are just a lot. Like if you click here and go to the official, you see a lot of more incompatibility. Value transfer with function core does not work, and a lot of things like the external core and Solana require that account be specified. So like CPI on Solana, which is you are making core with another program, so like a contract, the core or program invocation. So you are trying to interact. In such a case, you have to have even specified ahead of time the account that pays and things like that. So not like the smart contract have to hold fund or something to process some core or things like that. So all these basic difference are there, you need to keep in mind. So if you still have any question, make sure you go through the ultimate guide, link in description, ask in the comment, and let's straight to our Discord as well for any question as well. So I will see you in the next one. Please subscribe, tap the notification bell, and share the video. The more we reach, the more we're encouraged to do more of this helpful content, and as we continue the series of helping you transition from Ethereum Solidity to Solana Solidity with Solang. I remain Solomon Foske, and please always do good to humanity and nature with your programming skill and not evil, to make the world a better place for us all. See you in the next one. Peace and bye.